Hello
Welcome
to our first
Q and
Hello
hi
and welcome
to
our
first
Q and A.
Hello everyone.
No. No.
Hello.
Not starting over.
Yes, you are. All right, go.
Hello
Welcome
to our first
Q
and
A.
A while back, we put out a post on Facebook and Instagram asking you guys for some questions for us. So here we go. We're just going to
Good.
dive right in. I feel like we should start out with maybe an easier question. How did you meet? Well, long story short, we met at a bar. We met, yeah, long story short, we met at a bar. And the rest is history. We have a whole video on that love story.
Check out the link below.
Who asked who out on the first date? He did. How would you recommend someone meet nowadays? At a bar.
Tinder. Is that the word?
Tinder. Hey, we know a lot of people that have met some of their loves online.
Is it Tinder? Is that the word?
I think so.
Did you always know you wanted a big family?
Did you always know you wanted a big family?
I thought I was gonna die single. Not really.
We, two out of the three of our kids were surprises.
Doesn't mean we didn't want them.
No, absolutely not. I have always wanted 4 kids.
3 for me.
So he's done well, I'm not. So that's a debate. That's a common debate in our house.
What is a common myth about parenthood or myth about what you need to know before becoming a parent?
You have to be ready to have kids, or we weren't prepared. You're never going to be prepared. You just aren't.
It's a good one, babe. How did you get started flipping houses? What inspired you? How are you managing it logistically with having young kids?
Well, I'd say kind of a couple of years ago, we when he started getting into real estate, he was 21 and I was 21. I've stayed at home since we've started having kids, and I always kind of joked around about hey guy, maybe someday when you become a realtor, you can be the project manager and I can be the designer and we can flip houses together.
I just started from our first house that we bought, and it was a foreclosure, so a lot of things needed to be done with it. By a lot of things, a whole kitchen gut, and then for sure a full bath gut, and then it kind of turned into a second bath semi-gut. It would have been a second bath full gut, but we
keep saying gut. How many times can you say gut?
To move instead of gutting it, which now we're gutting a lot of things in all of the houses.
So yeah. And how do we manage it with 3 kids?
We don't always. We do the best we can. It's crazy a lot of times, and we're
at each other's throat
and running around like mad people, but we still enjoy it and like the thought of continuing doing it. So we're just trying to get better with the whole process as we go.
With 3 kids, we're dragging them a lot of times around to different properties, or they're coming with us, and then a lot of times we have family in the area that will watch a lot. And
well, shout out to those babysitters.
Yeah, and we do have babysitters that we hired quite a few times throughout the flip project.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's ever at our house, they just deal in the chaos. It's a lot, and it's stressful at times, but we love it. So,
where do you want your businesses to be in a few years?
I think we'd love to have a full-time flipping business, right? Separately, I guess, I'd love my blog to become a source of income for our family. I'd love to be able to speak across the world on things that I've learned blogging and not only blogging but just in motherhood and chasing after your dreams and continuing to chase after your dreams in motherhood.
As far as real estate for me, I really enjoy real estate and creating business and relationships with people through real estate. It's a desire for me to just continue to grow that, and I think just the relationship between real estate and flipping houses is just a great relationship there, and it also provides and can provide opportunities for my clients, both whether they're looking for a house to flip or just advice on homes as we're going out and looking at them.
Yeah, I think eventually, like what we've talked about is that we would love to be able to create a buying experience for people that is unique to this area, being able to like take something that's maybe broken, like a fixer-upper, and how they can bring it back to life on a small budget.
Do you have any advice for someone starting out a business idea on their own?
Dream big.
Go for it. Gonna feel like you're killing yourself to start with.
And you're always gonna feel like you're kind of failing, but it's kind of amazing, like the things that you can do when you don't really like have any idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
And just do it, and not second guess that desire that you have.
If you weren't doing what you are now, what would be another profession you'd be in?
We always talk about this. We do always talk about. He always asks me, if we didn't have kids, if we never had kids yet, what would you do?
I'd be like a hairstylist.
Actually, Guy would probably be in the Air Force right now.
Or I'd be in the Air Force.
That's
Hair Force styler.
I probably would be doing blogging still. This is from our friend Jared Baird.
Congrats to them. They're
Expecting a girl.
So they're wanting to know, is raising a boy or a girl easier in your eyes? I think every kid's different. So whether it's a boy or a girl, both our two girls, they're both completely different from the get-go. And then same with our son. He's different than the other two. There's challenges with each of the kids' personalities and how they respond, and so I don't think either one's necessarily harder.
I think your first kid's always hard, and so therefore it makes that kid hard to deal with.
I'm looking more forward to the issues that I'll have to deal with Justice, our son, than the girl issues.
How do you guys manage time with your kiddos, each other, and all the projects you have going on while maintaining your sanity? What is your secret to balance?
Talking.
We don't have a secret. We don't balance very well.
I think a big thing though is just talking through things and talking things out. I think no matter what, you're going to get into times where you're on the same page and you're going to get frustrated with one another, and at that point it's just coming together, and you got to talk about what's going on.
Guy and I have this dance that we do. We put a lot on our plates, and we're really reactive towards decisions, and so we jump on things like, hey, this might be a good idea, let's do it. And so we do it, and then it ends up being a lot bigger thing than we kind of thought through. And then we get really stressed out, and then we get into a big fight. Guy and I fight. There's these idol couples out there, like Joanna and Chip Gaines, who say they never fight, and I just I think to myself all the time, how? I mean, I am a yeller, and I just am, so I have these reactive blow-ups. I just can't contain my emotions. It usually leads to good conversation, I think.
To the next question, who would win in a wrestling match? Because sometimes they just gotta...
That is probably one of the biggest annoyances of our marriage, is the fact that he constantly wants to wrestle, and I can never escape. Did you grow up, this is for you, this is for Guy, did you grow up a handyman?
Did Tessa grow up a handy woman? I would say I did. I I'm gonna hit a blog with this one, which I guess that's
Spoiler alert.
spoiler. More or less, I've had opportunities growing up to get used to working with tools. I've had a lot of opportunities to work with tools and work with contractors and my uncle and my grandfather throughout the years that I've kind of gained knowledge to put little bits and pieces together and just tinker around with things.
He just kind of dives into stuff and goes, and he just teaches himself along the way.
So we have so much going on in our lives. How do you make it work so well? I think it's kind of a perspective. I think we do a lot, but then we also don't do a lot. We can't always go out and necessarily do all the fun things.
We give up on a lot to be able to do what we do. Like, as far as hanging out with friends or like
going on vacations.
So like there's kind of a trade-off for what we do, which we are honestly trying to be better at, because like we don't think that the balance that we have is necessarily always a good balance. Like sometimes we think that like we need to sometimes step away from stuff.
We're from Julie Baird. Where do you guys see yourself, family life, and future in the next 10 years? Are there any more big projects or surprises, announcements coming soon?
I think I know what kind of announcement.
This is our finale. This is our last question. Our big announcement. Tessa?
Is not pregnant.
Next 10 years. We're
really
going to be in the same house for the next 10 years, I've decided, with the work that we're putting into this next one.
We have a really hard time seeing even like 2 years down the road. Where like our life has changed so much in just the 5 years we've been married that for us, like thinking ahead 10 years is insurmountable. I don't even know. We don't even.
I think even in the next 5 years, we've talked about that. Just about each of us growing our businesses, we do want to stay within her blogging, me real estate, and then serving other people through our careers, through our businesses.
And I guess we do kind of have a big announcement. Guy has decided. No? Okay. Guy is going to be starting his own
blog.
With a little coaxing from his wife. Guy is going to be doing his own blog, his own real estate blog that will be centered around his business and his services and his expertise and his personal life. Flipping, real estate. Yeah. So look forward to that. We've been working hard on getting that going. It's been a long process, but stay tuned for that. Yep. If you're in the area and need some tips and tricks, or even if you're not in the area and you need some tips and tricks for DIY projects, or you need a realtor that knows the area really well.
Or any information.
This is not your average guy.
Copyright.
We're so glad that we could take the time out of our day. Our kids are now coming out. Come over here.
I think Dad. Oh my God. There's like.
Oh, you gotta take care of
them all.
Can you say hi, guys?
Hi.
Say thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for watching. Oh, on that note.
Thank you. Can you say hi?
Stay tuned for next week.
Can you say hi?
Hi.
Hi. Hi. Hi. Say bye-bye.
Gross.
Mwah.
Get my strip.